Hello and welcome back. This is another sixth grade math video. And in this video, we're going to be looking at absolute value. Okay, so the absolute value of a number is the number's distance from zero. So if we're being asked what is the absolute value of 7, and that's what those long bars on either side of the number mean, that means they want to know the absolute value of what's inside the bars. So they want to know the absolute value of 7. So if I draw a quick number line and put 0 in the middle, I know that 7 would be over here somewhere. And it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 units away from 0. So the distance from 0 to 7 is 7 units. That's the absolute value. They're looking for the distance from 0 to the number they're asking about. So the absolute value of 7 would be 7. Now let's take a look at the absolute value of -7. So let's say the question was the absolute value of -7. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 units away from 0 again, but on the opposite side. So that is still 7 units away, which means the distance between 0 and the number they're asking about is still 7. So this is also equal to 7. Here's the tricky thing to remember. You will never have an absolute value that is negative. They may ask you about the absolute value of a negative number, but your answer will not be negative. So the shortcut to this, other than drawing a number line, is to take the positive version of what's ever in the bars and report that as the absolute value. Here's our next example. What is the absolute value of 2? Now, sometimes you'll see absolute value written out, sometimes you'll see those bars. So we need to find the distance that the number 2 is away from 0. So I can do that by drawing a number line, putting 0 in the middle, and then going out 2 units to the number 2. Now the distance between 0 and 2 is 2 units. So that means the absolute value is 2. Now, if they were asking us about -2, then we would go backwards 2 units and place -2, but that is still 2 units away from 0. So that answer would be the same. So the absolute value of 2 and the absolute value of -2 are the same. They're both 2. Okay, here's our next one. We're being asked what is the absolute value, that's what those bars mean, of 77. Now, here's something that we probably don't want to use the number line for because that's going to be a lot of units to draw on that number line. So maybe we use the shortcut for this. So remember, the shortcut is you take whatever number is inside the bars and you write the positive version of that. Well, what's inside the bars in this one is already positive. So we're just going to rewrite that as 77. That means 77 is 77 units away from 0. Now, what if I change this to -77? We can still use the shortcut by saying, okay, well, the positive version of whatever is inside the bars is positive 77. So that would still be the answer. The absolute value of both 77 and -77 is 77 because that's its distance from 0. Okay, here's our next one. What is the absolute value of 9? So for this one, you can use either the number line or the shortcut, whichever you feel is more comfortable to you. I'll show you guys on the number line real quick. So I'd have 0 here, and then I'd go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and end up out here to place 9. And then the distance from 0 to 9 is 9 units. So that means the absolute value of 9 is 9. I would also get the same if I was being asked what is the absolute value of -9, because that would be 9 units out this way. We'll just place it out here, -9, but that is also 9 units away from 0. So the absolute value of -9 also equals 9. Okay, here's our last example for today's video. What is the absolute value of 95? So they want to know how far is 95 away from 0, or how many units. So for this one, we're probably going to use the shortcut because drawing a number line that has 95 units on it might take us quite a while. So that means the shortcut is we take the positive version of what's ever inside the bars. The positive version of 95 is 95. So that would be the answer here. That means 95 is 95 units away from zero. Now, if I had negative 95 in the bars, I would again use the shortcut to find the positive version of whatever's in there. Negative 95 is what's in there, but the positive version would be 95. So that means that negative 95 is also 95 units away from zero. All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope to see you in another video soon.